All right.
Hi, Elliot.
Hi, Danielle.
How's it going?
That's going pretty good.
It's June 22nd.
Does that mean something?
I don't know. We had Juneteenth on Saturday. That was real cool.
That was real cool. We went to the Juneteenth Park, and it was the Green Lake Park, and we sat around and in a circle, and we talked to some Lost Libertarians. We actually got a couple people in the Discord.
Yeah. So welcome to all our new folks. We appreciate you. It's really nice just going out and hanging out at the park too. Like that's really what I've been missing kind of with COVID and everything anyways. It's like I didn't even want to like go party or go bar hopping. Like I like picnics, and like that would have been real cool to do all summer last year.
Yeah. Should have done more of that last year for sure.
Yeah.
Oh well. We know for next time.
Yeah. We probably would have been just fine doing it and not had too many issues in retrospect, but
Yeah, people, they're going to approach a group of like 10 people. I think that was the issue, is that it's like out with a lot of people. In a public space, people might get uptight, but if they want to enforce you. And what's the cool thing about this time, actually, is that there was almost nobody, literally almost nobody wearing a mask at Green Lake. So that was really cool.
yeah, that is true. I didn't see much of that at all.
So.
There was even an anti-mask group. That was fun.
Oh my goodness. You notice about anti-mask groups, it's always like 80-year-old women.
Which I appreciate, right? Because they're the reason that we were locked in our houses all summer. So thank you, ladies.
I'm like, thanks for the support, Grandma.
Yeah. We got you, Grandma. Thanks for having us. I don't know if you noticed, but it's been kind of hot.
Oh my goodness, it's ridiculous. I'm like, I can't even. I'm out of evens to give. Like, it's completely insane.
Upper 80s, low 90s all week.
No.
Oh, then a cooling trend starting Tuesday, maybe.
Okay, but what's a cooling trend
Today.
mean?
So, well,
Cooling could be like down to 85.
85.
89? That's not cool. That's the same temperature. What are these people doing to me? This is going to be
low 70s
weeks.
for the rest of the week, maybe, though. So
Okay, fine. I'll take it. Fine.
Yeah.
I mean, 75 is like too much, but whatever. It's better than 80 and 90. I didn't realize it was 90. I was like, dude, why am I literally dying of heat stroke right now?
Yeah, it even says Western Washington, because I was thinking maybe that was Eastern Washington where it was 90, but
Yeah, it's all like...
it's everywhere.
Ugh. I hate it. I don't live here for heat. I live here for rain. Although, it's nice to have sun sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, by Wednesday, 70s, so.
I got some mad sunburn.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, could you see? This is ridiculous, right?
I did. I saw a picture in the Discord.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I sent that.
We saw lots of photos of sunburn in the Discord. I work very hard to get outside as soon as it starts being warm enough so that I get a nice, beautiful Californian tan ASAP.
It's a first order of business, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. As soon as I see the sun, I know I need to soak it in.
Ugh. All right. Interesting.
I'm very happy in the heat.
Strange
but it's less
values.
hot here than California. And
That is true.
And I grew up in the desert, so like this is perfect.
Yeah.
I can do 90s in Washington. That's fine.
Yeah.
The shade even matters here. Nebraska, the shade didn't matter, and that was awful.
Yeah, the shade does matter here. And that was just a nice little cookout. Miguel brought food and cooked it on his little grill, which is amazing. And then what else happened? It felt like a lot of stuff happened, but honestly, that was mostly external drama stuff. So I think it was mostly just fucking shit. It was good times,
Yeah, it would have been a really nice chill weekend if it hadn't been for those other states and their drama, but we're not going to talk about them.
No, we're not, because we're anti-drama Washington.
Mm-hmm. You know what we are going to talk about?
Some news.
Governor Inslee finally, well, that was news. That was weather news. Governor Inslee repealed 3 pandemic-related proclamations. So that's cool. That was just yesterday.
Wait, what did he do?
He repealed 3 proclamations. So the first is that unemployment benefits are going to require a job search again. That starts on July 5th.
Okay.
Which I guess there weren't a lot of people hiring during the pandemic, so that made sense. But
Yeah, and he's starting with like the dumb ones. The ones like, I mean, fine. I definitely don't want the state paying people money, right, to not work. Like that's not preferable or anything. But I'm like, dude, okay, so you want to repeal like the fucking actual lockdown though? Like that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah. The second proclamation being rescinded prohibited employers from discriminating against high risk workers.
And so now they can.
So now they can.
Oh my god, like freaking again, I'm not saying that I want the government involved in this, but like he's repealing all of the even semi okay stuff so far and none of the like, hey, repeal this shit.
The third one limits fees that third party delivery services can charge restaurants.
Okay, so he's done nothing. He's done nothing. This is a complete nothing situation. Like, oh my god.
The limit was enacted in February as restaurants were shutting their doors and relying on takeout and delivery to stay afloat. Did you realize that some of those restaurants don't even consent? Like they don't consent to being on the app.
Oh yeah, you're on the app whether you like it or not.
I didn't realize that. I was real mad when I saw restaurants being like, "No, we don't serve delivery drivers." Or not serve, but let them use our restrooms, right? It's like, these people are keeping you afloat. What the heck? And then I learned, like, oh, they don't actually want them. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, for sure. I mean, like, yeah. So again, like, in a libertarian sense, like, I'm down with all of these things being repealed, but it's not really the things that were high priority for me to get repealed out of this stuff. So thanks and no thanks, I guess, a little bit. Like, you know what I mean?
A lot of folks are asking him to extend the statewide eviction moratorium through the end of the year, too. But it's set to expire at the end of the month, so.
Well, that shit's going to get real wild.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be real interesting. But
I already had, like, 2 people move out of my apartment area, and I don't know why, but they were, like, in my immediate little block area, because I have, like, outdoor-facing apartment doors, and freaking yeah, it was wild. I was like, damn, half the block is gone. It's only families now, which is I'm fine with, you know. Yeah, so
families don't cause too many problems as long as their kids don't.
I prefer it. I mean, it keeps the Karens in check, you know. They're too focused on the kids to bother with me.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Kids are a good distraction.
It's like
from
a
all
smoke
the
bomb of Karens.
stuff I'm doing, yeah. Fremont has a music scene that is going back in full swing.
Woo!
Whatever. It's hard to read. Fridays, though, they're doing like concerts and stuff. They've got, it's called Fremont Fridays, block party-esque get downs. It looks like they're, going to have local vendors, outdoor bars, and musicians with a DIY stage made out of a recycled parade float.
Is a parade float usually just a truck?
I thought so too, but maybe it's just the bed of the truck.
Well, anyway, that's all very cool. Good job. Fremont, though, huh? Not Cap Hill.
Correct. Fremont. No.
All right.
I saw this article, and we're just going to go to it because we're not going to go to angry stuff next because whatever. This couple actually, their lawn went dead, and then they painted it the grass green.
Okay. I'm seeing no problem so far.
Right. There isn't a problem. I just want to use the opportunity to tell people to just plant weeds and dandelions and natural flowers that grow because lawns are fucking stupid. Plant a garden.
Yeah, lawns are stupid. Lawns are like it used to be everybody had like a little garden, like, back in the English, like 1920s, 30s days, you'd have those little townhouses, but in the back of the townhouse, you'd have a little mini garden that you're made of all work if you were rich enough, or if, you would just maintain. Maybe you'd even have like a pig or two back there, And so used to be that, quote, urban centers were, I mean, not necessarily like London urban centers, right? But like, suburban-y, countryside-y townhouses were set up for that sort of thing. And, people just started doing just lawns. And it's like grass is the most useless thing ever anyway. It's like, why? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, what is the purpose?
I really, I think I maybe listened to a podcast or something, right? Because that's what I do. where they talked about how it really was just a show-off thing, right? It like what was it, France or whatever? They wanted to show off that they had all this extra land,
Fucking
and so
France.
they didn't need to use it for agriculture or farming or anything, and so that's what they did, is they showed off their extra land by not using it.
France is where everything bad comes from.
Don't quote me on it, but sure, we can just blame France. I'm okay with that.
I'm so down with blaming France. I blame France for how fucked up English is, and for ruining common law, and for turning England into an imperialist power that took over the world. It's all France's fault. It goes all the way back to William the Conqueror, 1066. Like, you know what I mean? Like, basically what I'm saying, without France, Hitler wouldn't have happened, is what I'm saying. Fucking France.
Fucking France. One of the police officers at the University of Washington said that other folks, like in the actual like security department, were being racist towards him and saying things like, quote, I thought all you guys like watermelon and Popeye's chicken.
Oh, dear me.
Yeah,
That's lame.
Yeah. The article is funny. It's from the Seattle Times, but it says, just this sentence was amusing to me. They said, the school touts diversity goals to the public, shares anti-racism resources with the student body, and shapes the ideals of one of the nation's most progressive and one of the whitest big cities.
Oh, my God. They're losing me.
All 5 of the black police department officers at the university filed a multi-million-dollar damage claim this week in court because of the culture of entrenched racism that has included racial slurs, vicious comments about black people, and open hostility directed at them and members of the public. Right, I mean, the question is,
why are cops still not personally liable in this situation, though? Right? Like, why can't you? I mean, it's even coworker to coworker, right? Why? I mean, I guess it makes sense though, because like, you can't really sue. But this isn't okay. So there's this rule that says you can't sue an individual for carrying out their job while they are doing stuff for the employer, right? So for instance, if you're driving a delivery truck, right, and you get into an accident, right, as long as you're not like ridiculously negligent, right, you can't be sued directly. They have to sue the company, right, and name you in the lawsuit type of thing. What's confusing here is, like, I feel like racial slurs, like, in the break room or whatever is not really categorized under that line of duty situation, or, like, I don't know, like, they're suing for damages, which I get, but, like, there's no, I guess it's just impossible to discipline cops, right? I guess it's just impossible to discipline cops even when it's cop-on-cop crime.
And that's the silly thing is, like, right, if they're on break, they're not at work, and it's supposed to be protecting people from doing their job and being sued by the public. Like, if you're doing your job and you're abusing your coworkers, that's totally different. Those protections shouldn't exist in that case.
Boo.
Boo is right. Apparently 7% of Seattle's residents are black. It's one of the smallest concentrations among large U.S. cities.
Yep.
3% of University of Washington students.
We kind of touched on this a little bit, that it's like 70-30, 70% white, 30% everybody else in the Seattle area. And so, like, I guess if it's, what was it again? 7% black?
Yeah.
7% black. Okay, so then you've got another 20% to play with, which I assume a lot of that is East Asian, right? And then like Hispanic and South American or whatever, however that's grouped nowadays.
You heard about the Black Pride, right?
I did.
And the reparations fee?
I did.
So I believe, what did they say? They were going to charge reparations
from $10 to $50.
$10 to $50,
yep.
Yes. The reparations fee that will be used to keep this event free of cost for Black and brown, trans, and queer community. Says they will never charge admission over the color of a person's skin. Oh, wait.
What? That's not
Sorry.
true.
Sorry, this is a different complaint. The complaint from actual other people who wanted to attend Pride. Sorry, we're complaining about it, and they were saying we'd never charge admission based on the color of someone's skin. There's a big controversy between the different prides now. It's real fun.
Hey, man, left eats their own is a common phrase that you hear a lot, and we can see that here.
Yeah.
I'm all like, I don't know. For me, if I'm gonna go to Pride, I definitely I'm probably gonna go with somebody most of the time. Not because, or it's going to be like a really big Pride event, right? Where there's lots and lots of stuff to do. Like the niche Pride stuffs, it's just like I didn't really have a reason to go there personally anyway, being like straight. You know what I mean?
And the big main Pride is online anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
These are all small little. I mean, they do matter. Obviously, it's Pride. It matters, but.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just like I probably I was gonna get outraged, and I'm like, dude, I wasn't gonna go to that one anyway. I wasn't gonna go to the specific, Pride events because I already feel, vaguely unwelcomed at the normal Pride event. Although I did feel slightly better. So last time I went to Pride was obviously pre-COVID, and everybody's running around with this sticker like God made me gay or bi or an ally, right? And I was like, well, I mean, I don't feel like any of these buttons really match me because not that I'm anti gay, I'm just do I have to, if I'm forced to be your ally, am I really an ally or am I conscripted, you know what I mean? And so I just happened through my wandering around to find the sticker booth, and there was a completely unused bit of the sticker sheets which was God made me straight, and it was green, and so I was like, oh nice, I'm taking that one. God made me straight is the logical conclusion. So anyway, I don't know.
That's real cute, actually.
And then I actually felt better. And I was like, crazy guys. When you're allowed to just, fucking express yourself, be yourself. Because, what is... Okay, the thing is with respect to Alliance, especially in, Seattle, I get being an ally maybe, in some random town in the Deep South or somewhere where, maybe there's some... But it's dude, this is literally Seattle, right? What fighting is there to do for the general Pride situation, right? You could totally argue maybe increasingly smaller communities within the gay situation, the whole Pride ecosystem, right? Maybe there's smaller battles to be won, but allied against who? I mean, have you seen city council? Have you seen the state legislature? Who against whom are we needing to ally ourselves, right? The fight is pretty much is in good shape, I don't know.
Well, that's why it's called Pride, because it's more of a celebration than a fight right now.
Exactly. And that's what I prefer to focus on, is the celebration. That sounds great to me.
Yeah. So good news, but also a very awful situation that I guess you we hear about it, right? So in the foster system, or just, oh man, I just listened to a podcast. It'll make your blood boil. It's called Do No Harm. It's, I forget what network. It doesn't matter. Google it. It's about the child welfare system in Texas, and they talk about how children are removed from their parents based on, in this situation, doctor's reports. But in general, children can be removed for all kinds of things, including positive drug tests. And in a lot of states, presumably here in Washington as well, but I know it happened in Nebraska as well, children get removed from their homes. A lot of times they say it's an emergency, and so they'll have to come straight to the office. Mind you, Nebraska was getting a lot better about putting children with families, so I don't want to say they're awful because this is Washington news. But in Washington, apparently they were bringing children to the office and not finding temporary homes for them or foster families, and so they would sleep in the office. They would sleep in people's cars. They would have to sleep in hotels. They wouldn't have families. Some children had to sleep in office lobbies because they were refused they were refused for placement. So it looks like King 5 had a watchdog launch an investigation. Go them. I guess.
So watchy doggy.
I know,
King
right?
5.
I mean, this is why I pay for news. I don't care, whatever. A lot of kids were complaining. DCYF, the Douglas County, Douglas County Youth something. I don't know. It's one of their the youth programs. And yeah, just a lot of kids were having a problem. But Washington has now vowed to end that practice, and I guess they're gonna start making systemic changes. Let's see, what is it? The demands of some of the systemic changes that folks are demanding is a process for providing individualized needs assessments to all children. An adequate array of placements so that children have available foster families, especially if they have disabilities. And then they want the department to address the lack of family reunification focused services. And honestly, this all sounds super backwards. All of these things were happening in Nebraska when I left. So,
Crazy.
Come on, Washington. But yeah, I don't know. I'm anti-state taking children from their families.
Yeah.
Kind of in general.
Yep. If kids want to run away, that's fine.
Yeah.
As we've discussed recently at length.
Yes.
Not Danielle, but the general Discord had a huge discussion around that. And of course, my stance is that children are, the property of their parents until they're able to claim their bodies as their own, which, I kind of leave that open to like, when does that happen, right? Because, but toddlers are getting pretty close, right? They're getting pretty close. And I figure if you're old enough to run away, then you're old enough to fend for yourself. And I would not recommend most kids run away, right? But I think that most folks are probably ready to like leave way earlier than, we normally think of them. And that like, anyway, point being is that freaking, what was the point of me? Oh, the point is that like, so, I think that like, I mean, what is the reason that most kids get taken from the home anyway, right? You know what I mean?
A lot
That's
of time
kind
it's a complaint from a third party. Yeah, someone saying that there was abuse in the home in general, or if investigators, and I don't know how when I worked in the vulnerable adult population, it was really hard for them to say that there was a substantiated report. So having not worked in the child system, the CPS system, I have no idea, but it seems like they're much more effective than APS.
Well, right. I mean, I think, I wonder, because there's been several people that I've heard from in the Liberty sphere, like on the Tom Wood show and stuff, who were talking about how CPS people are like, oh yeah, it's just a bureaucratic nightmare machine where basically the more kids that you process, somehow there's an incentive structure around like taking kids and getting them away from the family type of thing. So it's like, if that's the case, then I can just see how this, monster just keeps getting fed,
The incentive is for a caseworker to not be, what was that kid's name? Oh no, Angel, Gabriel. There was a Netflix documentary about him, Gabriel. He was abused by his mother and his stepfather, and CPS didn't have the teeth to take him away, even though there were many reports and actual physical injuries, and CPS did nothing when people reported it. But I would think that if like an aunt and uncle had taken the kid, that they would have been arrested for kidnapping as opposed to helping the kid, even if the kid could say he didn't want to go back to them. But
and that's the other thing is, why couldn't, I mean, and this is what's completely fucked up about the system, right? Is like, okay, well, why can't the kid go to the aunt and uncle in that case, right?
Yeah, or
Stay
at least
in the
choose.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times they try
Yep.
to do that, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the incentive to take children is to release liability from the State Department. So if the child gets hit again, then they screwed up. But if they don't get hit again, then they were just doing their due diligence. And we have decided that that is acceptable because we have given them the power to choose who gets to keep their kids and who doesn't get to keep their kids.
Yeah, because this is insane to me, right? Like, why is there a completely separate organization that has to handle this, right? Like, I mean, obviously I don't really want the cops to handle much of anything anyway, right? So I might end up just, going around to a different point, but it's I don't know. I just feel like I don't see why this has to be in the hands of the state. Is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm with you. And we're just going to end with a really quick story. So, a lot of folks that were convicted on life sentences because of the 3 strikes laws, will all be recommended. There's July 25th. The prosecutor has to request resentencing for all these folks. And it looks like about 114 people across Washington are eligible to be resentenced. So what that means is they got their sentence for their first strike and their second strike, and their third strike, right, under the 3 strike laws, that was automatic life in prison. And so what they're doing is they're rescinding that conviction of life in prison, and they're going to resentence people based on what they actually were convicted of. And it looks like a lot of the people that were in are really old. They've been in for decades. And so a few of the people in this article are 50, 59. And again, they're 3 strikes laws. So they're nonviolent. They're not...
it's nonviolent specifically.
They're not rape or manslaughter.
Oh, my God.
Anyone currently serving a life sentence for 3 strikes involving second-degree robbery is one that they're putting in automatically. And that, I think, yeah. But yeah, they're not doing it for the violent victim crimes. It's more just the low level.
Oh, so they're reconsidering the strikes for
the
like nonviolent. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, that's okay. Fair enough. Yep.
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
It is super cool. So I'm really excited about that. So 2 good things, I guess. Washington's redoing their, youth system, and then we're resentencing these folks.
Unambiguously good thing.
Yeah. So that's, what do we have coming up? So we're pretty much done with June events. Snohomish County has their monthly meeting on the 31st. And then we've got a 3D gun printing course on July 10th. We have a 10 a.m. and a noon class.
Oh, 2 classes. Wow.
Yeah. And you can get links to those at our website, lpwa.org/events. Has everything in there, and I'll put the ticket links into
the Google Calendar.
Into the Google Calendar, yeah. But
maybe
also,
I should put the links directly on the page.
Ooh,
that
would be good too. Yeah.
Would that be helpful? Okay, Danielle and I'll put the links on the page.
Yeah, we'll make it super easy. So we've got that, and then we have camping, which is the 20. Oh no, I screw up the date every time for camping. I should look at the calendar. I think it's this is real bad. The 23rd, 24th, and 25th. We're camping in Spokane. We've got a Facebook event and a meetup event. So it is private property. What we're doing is, if you say that you're attending the events, we'll message you and give you the address if we haven't hit the attendance limit, because right now we're trying to limit it to probably around 20 people since it is private property. So yeah, we'll get you worked out. And also, if you're in the Discord, we'll definitely get you taken care of, because we certainly want our members and folks that are, involved in the planning process to get first dibs.
Heck yeah.
And then there's also going to be a range day. We'll have tickets on Eventbrite for that. That is in the middle of the camping trip, so that'll be the 25th.
Wasn't there going to also be a range day for the Spanish-speaking situation?
No, that's so confusing. It's an educational course. It's a firearms safety class.
So, okay, firearms safety class. Got it. And it's not necessarily happening at a range.
It is definitely not happening at a range.
Okay, got it.
And that'll be in August. We're also trying to plan another camping trip in August. And hopefully maybe we can do another picnic for outreach like we did this month, because I think the Juneteenth event went really well, and I'd love to continue doing small, just kind of hangouts with materials and some signs so people know who we are. I think that'll be really good to continue doing. I'd love to see you guys come out. What else do we have going on, Elliot? Anything?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, dude.
I know. Well, I did all the events. I think we're good on events, and as events director, I did us done with those.
Okay, sounds good.
And you're technology director, so you don't have announcements. Wonderful. Then
no, I don't have announcements. I mean, like, if you're interested in joining the tech team, join the Discord. I'm finally working with our other person in the technology team to get ourselves organized, and maybe at the very least just get a our tasks and the work things that we need to get done. All of my updates are so inside baseball. I have to do more explaining than not explaining. But basically, peek behind the curtain. All right. How about this, guys? Is that because of some ridiculous national drama, we were going to do going on to the national CRM, and that is not happening immediately, which means that you can look forward to a website overhaul. Doesn't mean that we'll necessarily be changing a lot of the look and feel, but hopefully we'll be putting in a bunch more things that will be a lot more relevant to everybody. I know that Layla and Anna have like a huge list of basically just totally restructuring the website. So look forward to that. That'll be really cool. But that's basically all the tech news if you're interested. Otherwise, the technology just hums along in the background,
Awesome. Well then, I think our pizza's here, and it's 4:20. So.
Oh my gosh, Pizza Hut!
And I know I actually said it a minute late because you were talking.
I know. I checked my watch immediately, and I was like 4:21. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, sorry guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Check out our website, lpwa.org.
I highly recommend that you sign up as a member for Libertarian Party. Like $25 a year